Okay. So all of you have seen a patient yesterday? How many patients have you seen yesterday?
We saw the patient po, Doc, last week.
Last week pa.
Yes po. Yes
How
po.
many?
One lang po.
Just one? Okay. One patient. So you will present this patient to me now. We will discuss it. Okay. Did you prepare anything? Or just the information that you got from the patient?
Yes po, Doc, we prepared the information po, but we didn't prepare any slides, if that's okay
Okay.
po.
Okay, that's okay. That's all right. Okay. Have you read the patient management framework?
Yes po.
All of you? How many took the exam, the OLETE? Just one? All? Okay. Okay. Sige, I'll take a look at later on, and then we will apply it to this patient. No? So you have all the information that you got, and then what I'm going to do is just probably illustrate the management of a patient process that you will be doing in the clinics nowadays. No? Okay. Okay. So in the clinics, you have a different approaches in the management of the patient compared to the patients in the actually in the wards in the hospital. Okay, but essentially it should be the same. But there are different ways of teaching you how to get the data, to get the information. No? So one approach is the focus one, which is more practical, more efficient. Uh, So it's not considered as the less superior than the traditional long way of doing gathering data. No? Okay. So we will demonstrate it this afternoon, this morning. No? Okay. No. Okay. I used to have a LU5 preceptorial with a patient around. No. But this time, because I couldn't make it last on a Tuesday, so I said, let's just hold it on a Wednesday, February 25. No? Okay. Anyway, okay. So what I'm going to do is do it this way. I'll ask for information. Well, have you taken pictures of the patient? Okay.
No
Wala.
po, Doc.
Wala. There's nothing to take pictures of.
Wala po, Doc.
Okay.
The complaint of the patient mainly po is probably a
Sige.
thyroid mass, but there's nothing po that we can see.
So nothing will be used to assist in our discussions. Wala. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to ask questions as if I'm interviewing the patient now. Okay. And then you give me the data. Then I'll be asking questions. Now, what will be the diagnosis? Now, I mean, we will discuss it step by step along the way, from from diagnosis up to treatment. Now, okay. Is that okay with you?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. So how old is the patient? Again.
7-year-old female po.
7,
5'7" po. 57 po.
57-year-old. Okay. Sex, male, female?
Female po.
Female. Okay. So once I see a patient, I would, in the clinics, of course, the sex usually can determine just by looking without asking, no? But at times you may have to ask, no? Okay. Because of the transgender issues nowadays, no? Okay. And then, but the age is very important, at least as a baseline information. No? So 57-year-old female. And then the next question that I asked, aside from establishing rapport, introducing yourself, who you are, no? And what's the name of your patient, asking them what's your nickname. I usually ask for their nickname so that I can talk to them in an informal way. And then after that, I ask, what is your main concern? Why you're coming here? No? Okay. So what is the main concern of this patient when she consulted the GS? This is outpatient, not PGH, outpatient clinics. Okay. So what is the main concern of this patient?
Palpitations po, Doc.
Pardon?
Palpitations po.
Palpitations. So she mentioned that word palpitation.
Yes po.
Okay.
Nagpa-palpitate daw po siya.
Palpitate. So once you hear this palpitation, okay, you should be thinking of something now, no? Okay. So what will be your initial impression, initial hypothesis, no? Okay. So every step of the way, once you get new information, you must analyze it, no? Okay. So you don't wait up to the end to get the complete the so-called package of information before you come out with a diagnosis, no? Okay. So you have a 57-year-old patient presenting with palpitation. What comes into your mind now? Palpitations will involve what organ system?
Possibly cardiac system po.
Heart, the heart. Okay. So what's your concept of a palpitation? When she said palpitation, what's your concept? And then after that, you ask the patient, no? Okay, but before you ask the patients, what's her concept of palpitation, the details of the so-called palpitations, no? You must have something in mind from your previous experience, from your previous knowledge, no? What is palpitation to you? What's palpitation? Christian, Duque?
According to the patient po, mabilis po.
Now you, what's your
magtibok po.
perception of palpitations? The word, when you hear the word palpitations, aside from,
Fast beating of the
probably
heart.
it's associated with the heart, no? Okay. So what does it mean?
Feeling of fast beating of the heart.
Sandali, Can you, is my, the volume, okay. Okay, again, sige.
Feeling po of fast beating of the heart.
Feeling of fast heartbeat,
Yes po.
heartbeat, okay. Okay. Do we all have the same perception? Hmm. You're free to disagree, huh? Okay. So if that being the case, we're all unanimous in having this perception of feeling of a fast heartbeat by a person, no? So, but just the same, you ask the patient, anong ibig sabihin yun ng palpitation? No? Okay. So if you tells you mabilis ang tibok ng puso ko, parang yung tumitibok yung dibdib ko, no? Okay, that's it. You have the common understanding now, no? Okay. So then after that, you think of the possible causes of palpitations. Anong possible causes of palpitations? David?
Caffeine intake po.
Sino? Si Andrea sumasagot. Sige, Andrea, you're answering. Anong possible causes, Andrea?
Caffeine
Pardon?
intake po.
I'm
Caffeine intake.
Caffeine?
Opo.
Caffeine intake. Okay. Ano pa?
Yes po.
That's one. That's only one, di ba? Or is it the only one? Is the only cause? Andrea.
Sorry, Doc.
Can you give me a rundown of what you think are the possible causes of palpitations? I don't think it's only one, di ba? It's not only caffeine, no?
Yes po. Stress po.
Stress, ano pa?
High blood pressure.
High blood pressure? Okay, well, I'll list it down first. Okay,
Yes.
what else? You want to ask the help of your classmates?
Strenuous activities.
Ah? Hindi ko can you increase the volume? Hindi ko marinig dito. I increase my volume already here.
Hello po.
Ayan, yan. Malino. So ano pa? Caffeine intake,
Strenuous
stress,
activities po.
strenuous activities. Okay, ano pa?
Strenuous activities.
Yeah, strenuous activities. Ano pa?
Lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep. Okay.
Fever po.
Fever. Okay. Ano pa? You want to ask
Hyperthyroidism.
hyperthyroidism. Okay. Ano pa? Ano pa? You want to ask the help of your other
Parang that's
classmates?
all po I can
Oh,
think of.
sige. Sino pang, who would like to add some more? Camille? Camille yan. Sena.
Sorry po. Maybe
You want to-
cardiac structural abnormalities po.
Cardiac problem. Heart problem. There's a problem.
Yes.
Cardiac. Okay. So, anything else?
Potentially intake of medications po.
Intake of medications. Okay. Okay. So when you hear the word palpitation and asking the patient what's her definition, what her perception of what palpitation is, then if you agree on the so-called there's a feeling of fast heartbeat, yung tumitibok ang dibdib, no, at least dibdib, no, then you start thinking of all this list of the mentioned by Andrea and who's the other one, Camille, no, okay. So so these are your hypotheses. These are all the possible causes, no, okay. So what do you think is the most common cause among those, the thing that you mentioned? You list one, caffeine intake, stress, high BP, strenuous activities, lack of sleep, fever, hyperthyroidism, cardiac abnormality, and then intake of medications. But what is the most common? What do you think? David, Dizon?
Siguro po like based
Nakasama lang yung volume mo.
hello po. Is this
Mahina pa.
hello po?
Hello.
Hello. Is this better po? Siguro po in terms of general prevalence po, maybe cardiac causes since generally non-communicable cardiac conditions or structural abnormalities might be more common.
Okay. Where did you get that information? From?
Like general data lang po on like rising prevalence of non-communicable diseases po.
Did you get that from your previous learning, from your lecture?
Yes po. Like these were like mentioned patterns po or shifts in disease prevalence po.
Okay. Hindi ko masyadong marinig eh. Can you all hear him clearly? Bakit? Are you in the same room? Ba't hindi ko siya marinig? So, where did you learn? From what source? From LU3, LU4,
LU4, around LU4 po.
LU4? Sino nag-lecture noon? Hindi mo matandaan.
Di po.
What topic? What subject matter?
I think more on cardio po.
Cardio.
Yes po.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that once you get the word, the concern of the patient's palpitation, you start to have some analyze it in terms of possible differentials, possible causes, no? Okay. But you have to, there's a long list. Usually anything is possible. Mahaba yan, no? So, but you have to make a sort of a categorization to simplify things. Number one, you can simplify it in terms is it non-specific or due to specific medical condition. Okay? So when you say non-specific, it could be yung mga stress, na? Yung mga strenuous activities, lack of sleep, ganon, na? Okay. Now, specific medical disease will be something related to, let's say, hyperthyroidism and cardiac problem. No? Okay. So between, then how do you classify intake of medications? That could be, let's put them under non-specific. It's not part of a disease condition. No? Okay. So under disease, you have thyroid and heart. No involvement, no? Okay. So non-specific and then specific. Under specific, you have heart and then your hyperthyroid, no? Okay. Okay. So which one? Okay, is ideal. Strictly speaking, probably you know that the non-specific ones are the most common. No, right? Yeah, I think. In the past, probably you have experienced that before, palpitation, no? It's non-specific and it just goes away, di ba? Okay. Okay. But as a physician, you have to rule out first the specific conditions before you settle for the non-specific conditions. No? So that's the approach, no? So your more specific conditions will be your hyperthyroid and the cardiac. No? Okay. And then, okay. So between the two, which one is more common? Between cardiac and hyperthyroid? What do you think? O pareho lang? Do you have data? Kung wala, okay lang. You just make an educated guess for the moment. Now, in the future, once you see this patient, after you see this patient, you learn from it, probably you say, baka mas common dito sa heart o mas common dito sa thyroid. No? Okay, that's how you learn. No? Okay. Okay. So you won't be able to know everything in one sitting. That's why there's the so-called problem-based learning. Every patient is a problem. No, you don't know everything. No, okay, but you try to solve the problem by try to learn from it. No, okay. Then the things that you learned from a previous patients, then you apply it to the next patients. No, nag-accumulate siya. No, okay. So hyperthyroidism and cardiac, from my experience, I'm going to tell you my experience is more of hyperthyroid first, no? Then cardiac. Okay? Just based on the word palpitations, huh? Patients complaining of palpitations, if you make a survey, no? Okay. I hope I'm correct, huh? This is my perception at the moment, no? I usually patients usually have, this is associated with hyperthyroidism, no? Palpitation, no? But as I said, non-specific ones are still more common than a medical conditions. Okay? Okay. So, but the next thing, what will be, having that in mind, what will be your next questions when you interview your patients? By the way, when you see this patient, there's nothing grossly abnormal in his external appearance, no? Okay, wala. Okay, yeah, you didn't have any picture to take, no? Okay. So what will be your next question? The next question usually, as a matter of routine na lang ito, no? You just ask them, when was it noted? Okay, okay. Don't say, when did it start? Okay, when was it noted? No? Okay, it's easier. The answer to the when it was noted is more acceptable than when it started, because even as even as a physician, you upcoming physicians, you won't be able to answer that accurately when started. Okay, so a better question is, when was it noted? First noted. Okay, so when was it first noted? Ano yung answer ng pasyente?
10 years prior daw po.
10 years. Wow. Palpitation. 10 years. So, with that new information, 10 years palpitation, and then you are watching a patient, looking at a patient, no, in front of you, no, wala naman siyang severe, severe, what do you call that, disability, no, she's ambulatory, I suppose, no, okay. So what are you thinking now? Non-specific or specific disease? Kung 10 years. Kasi kung may cardiac siya, may heart condition, no? By this time, you can see baka meron siyang mga disability na, may mga ano, di ba? But if he is visibly functional, no, walking without any no signs of distress, no, you can say that most likely this could be non-specific. No? Do you agree? 10 years no? Kung 5 years, kung 2 years, ibang usapan yon, di ba? So we won't make any conclusion. We still have to deal with the specific medical conditions, di ba? Kung recent lang siya, no? Okay. Pero kung 10 years, baka non-specific ito, iniisip mo na, no? So at the moment, that's your impression, no? At the moment, no? So you have to pursue that, no? With more questions, with more PE, no? With more physical examinations, okay? So what will be the next question that you will ask? What do you think? Next questions. Christian?
What other symptoms does the patient experience?
Okay. What other symptoms, or would you like to ask a question that is directed to the palpitation first, related to the palpitation? That's another way, probably, no? More efficient.
When does it happen?
When did it?
During when does it happen? The
Okay.
palpitation.
During when? Okay. So what are the triggering factors? No? Okay. So do you have answer to that question? Did you ask that question to the patient? Meron? May data kayo?
We asked po, pero no known triggers po.
Or what?
We asked po, pero no known triggers daw po.
You asked the question, pero
No known triggers po.
no known triggers. Okay, sorry. No known triggers. Okay. Okay. So what other questions will you ask?
What helps improve po their symptoms?
What improve the symptoms? Okay. Anong sagot niya?
Drinking water po.
Drinking water improves the condition. Drinking water. Okay. So, okay. So at this point, no known trigger. Tapos, what improves her condition? Drinking water. It's still pointing to a non-specific ones at this point. Okay. So what other questions would you like to ask? Or, okay. This one thing I'm going to teach you. You can go through a lot of questions, pwede, kaya lang matagal. Na? Okay, you don't know when you gonna stop. No? Okay. So you can go to other maneuvers already. Then you can ask more questions later on. No? As you gather more information, as you do more, probably you can do your physical exam or examination already. No? Okay. So, but the most a very important question that you have to ask during this short history is, did you consult a doctor before? Okay. Okay. Para to simply to para not really to shortcut but to make para you can have some clue already, no? Kaya nagpatingin siya sa ibang doktor, baka talagang may problema siya, di ba? Okay. So she ito, no, has a previous consult with a medical physician.
Yes po.
Okay. When?
That same year po, 10 years prior to consult, she already had her checkup and blood work po.
Okay.
And she did not mention po the specific condition since it was not mentioned by her doctor daw po. But she mentioned that she was prescribed with levothyroxine to be taken po for which she took po for more than 3 months with good compliance.
10 years ago.
Yes po.
Okay. So, okay. One possible questions that you can pursue is that is she still seeing the doctor after 10 years? Or seeing other doctors? Is she? Okay. So, how many doctors have she seen before?
Medyo marami na po.
Marami na. So, when was the latest? Before PGH, huh?
One year prior to consult po. She
1
consult.
year. She consulted another new doctor.
Yes po.
Okay. Oh, sige. So you mentioned that she took levothyroxine, okay, 10 years ago for 3
Yes po.
months. Okay.
Yes
So,
po.
so pag narinig mo yan, bakit levothyroxine? You got an information from her which you have to analyze now, no? You connect it to your palpitation, levothyroxine and palpitation, no? Anong relationship ng dalawa? Hmm. Alisa? Ebora?
Siguro po, mas likely po in our minds yung thyroid condition po.
Okay.
Possible
So,
etiology of her palpitations.
Okay. So, levothyroxine is for thyroid. Na? Okay. So, palpitation, we know, kanina, baka may thyroid associated with a thyroid condition. Na? Okay, which is hyperthyroid. Okay. So, binibigyan ka na ng clue, baka thyroid ito. Na? Okay. Okay. Yung kanina kasi general pa tayo, wala pa tayong specific clue. As we get more information, we got one new clue here. She saw a physician 10 years ago prescribed levothyroxine. Okay. So, okay. But the thing, pag meron kayong nakuhang information, you try to analyze it right away. Na? Okay. You connect ninyo to the chip concern. Na? Okay. So another related question, sasabihin nyo, bakit levothyroxine? No. You're thinking of palpitation, you said it's related to hyperthyroid. No. Bakit levothyroxine?
Yun din po kasi parang was ma-associate po yung pag prescribe ng levothyroxine if parang you're thinking of hypothyroidism po.
Oo nga,
Instead
di
of
ba?
hyper.
Mag-isip, you start questioning bakit levothyroxine, no? Kung sinabi niya methimazole, the anti-thyroid drugs, no, it's more consistent with a diagnosis of hyperthyroidism, no? Okay. Okay, but anyway, accept that, put it in i-hold mo muna, you investigate further later on, no? Okay. Okay, so the trick here is you gather some initial question, get some impression, some differentials, no, working impression, and then right away go to your physical examination. If you can get some information, no, from your physical examination, okay? So anong gagawin niyo muna sa physical examination? Ano yung what will be your prioritized organ of investigations? Thyroid,
Yes po,
the
the
heart.
thyroid.
Pwede din heart, di ba? Okay. So let's say start kayo sa heart. Okay. So anong finding sa PE sa heart? Did you do a P of the heart?
Yes po. A dynamic precordium po, distinct S1 and S2 sounds. Normal rate and regular rhythm po. No heaves, murmurs, or trills po.
Okay. Anong pulse, anong cardiac rate niya?
Yung cardiac rate po niya ay nasa 68 beats per minute po.
Okay. So you got when you do your PE of the heart, you got the pulse rate 68. Sabi mo, 68 is normal, di ba? Tama? Okay. So you ask
Yes.
you ask the question, bakit siya nagpapalpitate? Di ba? Okay. So you can ask a question, are you taking some medication now? No? Because it's possible because she's seeing some physicians already, no? She might have some taking medications, no? So just to check the accuracy, the validity of your 68 per minute, no? Okay. Kung without medication, 68, baka wala siyang talagang palpitation, no? O wala siyang tachycardia, no? Okay. But if she's taking medications, baka meron talagang tachycardia but controlled by the medications, no? So is she taking medications at this time? None? You didn't ask.
The only medication she reported taking po were herbal supplements, particularly spirulina supplementation po.
So walang mga streamline medications, no? Okay.
Wala po.
Okay, so 68. So you start going back. When you get 68, you did a cardiac evaluation, 68 ang nakuha mo, normal naman yung rhythm, no? Okay. So you start questioning, is this non-specific palpitations, no? Okay. So, but you still have to examine the thyroid. Okay. So what's your thyroid findings now?
On assessing the thyroid po, the thyroid was non-palpable and there were
Okay.
no palpable nodules din po and no associated cervical lymphadenopathies.
Okay. Wala. Okay. So challenging na ha? Wala. Negative lahat. Okay. So, but if you, what will tell you that the patient has a thyroid problem on PE related to this chief concern of the patient, palpitation? Anong magiging findings?
Probably a palpable mass or nodule po.
Okay. Anybody else?
Siguro
David?
po,
Camille?
hand
Sino?
tremors.
Ah,
Hand tremors po siguro.
tremors. Okay. Pero ito sa thyroid. You, you went ahead to palpate the neck, di ba? Okay. So, anong makikita ninyo kung meron kayong positive findings related to the palpitations? Kasi ganun yun, when you are trying to investigate the thyroid, no, because of the palpitation concern, kung ihahanapin mo kung talagang, number one, you check kung talagang may thyroid problem, no? Kung may thyroid problem siya, as we mentioned earlier, baka hyperthyroidism, di ba? Okay. So ano yung mga findings that you expect to see on the patient's neck when you have hyperthyroidism? So parang uunahan mo lang yung sarili mo, no? You try to see what you want to look for, no? Okay. Rather than wait for your PE exam, no? Okay. Kasi meron ka parang may suspect ka na palpitation, baka dahil sa thyroid ito, di ba? Okay. So hahanapin mo na. Okay. So hyperthyroidism. So what will be the presentation of patients with hyperthyroidism on palpation of the neck or the thyroid? Is it nodular or diffuse? Angelica, nabumaka ng bibig mo. You mentioned nodular kanina di ba?
Most probably po more on diffuse.
Okay. Okay. So, diffuse dapat, no? Okay. So, when you say diffuse, anong definition ng diffuse?
More on yung thyroid po mismo yung enlarged and hindi po a particular compared to nodular po na parang isang bilog lang yung mafe-feel mo. Whereas pag diffuse po, it's either yung buong thyroid on one side or bilateral po yung malaki.
Okay. So, to refine your answer, the thyroid gland consists of two major lobes, no? Right and left lobes, no? So the definition of diffuse is that diffuse goiter, diffuse enlargement is that the two major lobes are almost symmetrically enlarged, no? Okay. And then without bukol-bukol, without nodules, no? That's the definition of diffuse, no? Okay. If one lobe is enlarged pero smooth siya, we don't call that diffuse. We call that nodular already. Okay. Let's say if the right lobe is 3 times larger than the left lobe, no? Pero smooth siya on the surface, walang bukol-bukol, that's still nodular, no? Okay. So from experience, once we operate on that, no, there are nodules inside that right lobe, right thyroid lobe. No? Okay. So remember the baseline definition of diffuse. No? Almost the two lobes are all the the two major lobes are almost symmetrically enlarged. There's no such thing as perfect size yung enlargement niya, no? Okay. So, and then without nodules, no? So, pag meron kang diffuse goiter, you start thinking, number one, hyperthyroid or hypo. Between the two, hyper is still more common, no? Okay. Kung nodular, pwede rin may hyperthyroid, no? But that's not common, no? Okay. So you have such a thing as nodular toxic goiter, no? So you have the solitary hyperthyroid, solitary functioning thyroid nodule. That's one. And then when you have multiple thyroid nodules, which becomes hyperthyroid, you can call that Plummer's disease. No? Plummer's disease. No? Okay. But that's not very common. No? Okay. So you look at your PE, if it's diffusely enlarged, then yung pulse rate mo ng 68, no, you start questioning it, no? Baka meron siyang iniinom o ano. You have to rule out hyperthyroid, no? Pero sa ngayon, you palpated the neck, normal, no enlargement, no? No nodules, no? And the pulse rate is 68 per minute, di ba? Okay, so what's your diagnosis at this point in time? After examining the thyroid and also examining the heart and also some information on palpitation as a chief concern, and which was noted 10 years ago with some previous medical treatment, taking levothyroxine, taking some herbal medications, herbal medicines now. Okay, so what's your impression now? Is it specific, non-specific palpitations?
Non-specific po.
Okay, more of non-specific, di ba? Okay. So you can ask a little more questions to firm up your non-specific impression, non-specific diagnosis now for the palpitations, no? So you can ask, what are the medications you took before, no? Ano yung mga medications? Levothyroxine. How long?
More than 3 months po.
Wala na. After that, wala na.
Wala na po.
Okay. So 9 years na wala. Okay. Okay. So then after that, herbal na. Okay. And then how many physicians did she consult? Do you know? Baka nagsha-shopping around na siya.
Based on what she mentioned po, it's already around more than 5 po. Because we
Okay.
already, during the interview, we lost track na po kung ilan yung napuntahan yung doctor asking for second opinion.
Okay. So what's your thinking now? She's shopping around, di ba? 5. Okay. Why do you think she's shopping around? She's not contented with the previous physicians. Tama? So what are the reasons why she's not contented with the other physicians? Previous physicians that she saw.
Possibly po kasi hindi naman na-resolve yung symptoms niya with the treatment na they gave.
Okay. Any other possible reason? David?
I guess related po sa baka they have different diagnoses.
Ano na?
They might have different diagnoses that aren't working or aren't sufficient po.
Okay. Ano pa? Sige. A common problem among physicians. Why why patients are not contented with the previous physicians? Christian?
They, according to the patient po, the doctor refuses to prescribe her, to continue prescribing her medication and was like forcing on her to take the surgery.
Surgery? Okay. Bago yun, okay. So, okay, that's the information that you got. Okay, forcing her to go for surgery. Okay. Ano yung kamo? Forcing her, prescribing medications? Did not?
The doctor refused to prescribe her medications po and forced her
Okay.
to take surgery now.
Operasyon, surgery, operation.
Yes po.
Okay, you start thinking now kasi yung PE mo normal yung thyroid gland. Bakit operahan ng no? Okay. So any other reasons? Look back at the patient management process. Ano yung tinuturo ko doon? Ano yung weak point ng mga doktor?
The advice or
Advice. Yeah. Okay. That's the weakest point of all the doctors nowadays. Now they don't tell the patients, what's your diagnosis? No? Okay. Di ba yung kanina sinabi mo, Angelica, she consulted 10 years ago. She was not told of the diagnosis. She was just prescribed levothyroxine. No? Okay. So, yeah, remember that, This one thing that I want you to learn from it was always advise the patient properly. No? Especially the diagnosis. What's your working diagnosis? No. Okay. I can tell you probably more than 90% of all doctors, even consultants, do not tell the patients what is the diagnosis. They will just order lab exams right away. Okay. Okay. So we are trying to reach a point that we will come out with a clinical diagnosis on this 57-year-old patients with palpitation. Now, but before our tentative impression right now is the non-specific palpitations. No, but we want to firm it up because she probably had some previous medical consults and treatment before. No, which we cannot just disregard. No, cannot disregard. No, kasi andun na. No, but notice that yung approach ko is that we don't look at the lab exams first. You notice when I started my discussion with you, okay, I'm not asking for the lab results yet. I suppose she has lab results. No? May ginawa siya. Tama? Okay. Again, that's a common pitfalls among physicians. They rely too much on the lab. No? They don't do the clinical examination, diagnosis first. They will look at the lab right away. No? Okay. Always start with your clinical evaluation on your own. And then, kung meron siyang medical treatment, consultation, and lab exams done, put it on the side first. Okay? Get them only later on, after you come out with your clinical diagnosis. No? Okay. So, ano yung mga ginawa sa kanya? Meron siyang thyroid function test. Meron? Yes or no? Kung yes, I would assume it's normal because the pulse rate is 62, 68. The thyroid is not enlarged. So, ano yung thyroid function test niya? Tatlo o dalawa? FT4? You have information on that? You have information?
yes po, we have her thyroid function test po in last year and this year po.
Sige, anong results?
For last year po, her FT3 is high po and her TSH is low. But in January of this year po, all of the thyroid function tests were normal na po.
Mm-hmm. So was she prescribed medications after the first?
None po.
Very good. Okay, very good. Very good in the sense that I want to tell you that yung mga lab exams are not always accurate. Okay? So nakita mo, 2 exams, iba ang results. No? Okay. So the first test was, the results were mataas yung FT4, FT3. Walang FT4.
Meron po, normal po yung FT4.
Okay, normal FT4, FT3 mataas, and then TSH mababa. Okay. So how do you interpret that if you see such results?
Primary hyperthyroidism po.
Because mataas yung,
Mataas po yung FT3 and low po yung TSH.
okay, so that's the general guideline that to interpret, no? Pero FT4 niya, normal. No? That's a,
Yes.
medyo may conflict doon, no? Okay. Now, so they always say that TSH is the most reliable laboratory test for thyroid function. No? Okay. So that's a common teaching nowadays, no? Pero there are people questioning it. Okay. Number one, from personal experience, TSH, TS, as seen by in this patient also, yung mga lab tests, no, may mga discrepancy, not to say baka may errors, no? Okay. So nakita mo yung 2 tests niya, yung second test normal na, no? Okay. So I usually look at the T4 and TSH. Okay. If the T4 is elevated, TSH is below normal, then that's consistent with hyperthyroid. Okay. But FT4 is normal, TSH is below or even above, kuminsan, no? When it's above normal, okay, you think of hypo, right? Hypo. If TSH is above normal, you think of hypo. If it's below normal, you think of hyper. Okay? If you rely on TSH, you get into a lot of errors. No? Okay. If you base it on the teaching of a lot of doctors, no? Okay. I usually combine the FT4 and TSH to make an accurate interpretation. If there's some discrepancy, I repeat the test. Okay. So true enough, in this particular patient, the second test turned out to be normal. Okay? So if you rely on the first test, tendency is for the physicians to give anti-hyperthyroidism, anti-hyperthyroid drugs. No? Okay. But at that time, you don't have data. At that time, you have to check the pulse rate also. No? Always rely, make sure to take the pulse rate. Always take the pulse rate. No? If it's more than 100 and then TSH is below normal, then T4 is above, no? You have the right to suspect hyperthyroidism. Baka mali yung test niyo, pero hyperthyroid. You have to have another test. No? Okay. Pero kung below 90 per minute, yung pulse rate niya at yung lab test mo is increase FT3 and then decrease TSH, you repeat it. No? Kasi may mga conflict with the results. No? So you repeat the test. No? Okay. Then you advise the patient accordingly. No? Okay. So a patient did not take any medications. No? Okay. Okay. What other tests did she undergo? Ultrasound,
She
meron? I
had
suppose?
ultrasound po and
Okay.
FNAB po.
FNAB. Okay. Tingnan na nga natin. Thyroid ultrasound mo na.
For her first thyroid ultrasound po in 2024,
Mhm.
Both thyroid glands are enlarged in size with diffusely coarsened and heterogeneous parenchyma. Right lobe measures 4.46 by 1.31 by 1.14 centimeters. Left lobe measures 4.17 by 1.51 by 1.98 centimeters. There is heterogeneously solid nodule measuring 0.77 by 0.88 by 0.78 centimeters in the right thyroid. There is complicated multiloculated cystic nodules measuring 1.34 by 1.82 by 1.35 centimeters and 1.32 by 0.77 by 0.82 centimeters in the left thyroid. Isthmus is normal in thickness, measuring 0.27 centimeters without discrete mass lesion. Impression is bilateral enlarged thyroid gland with diffusely coarsened and heterogeneous parenchyma, bilaterally suggestive of non-specific inflammatory process or thyroiditis. Heterogeneously hypoechoic solid nodules. Right lobe thyroids 3 complicated, multiloculated cystic nodules with heterogeneous eccentric solid components. Expanding the left thyroid lobe, thyroids 4, with no enlarged cervical lymph nodes identified, then to correlate with clinical and laboratory parameters po.
Okay. So, okay. Nagiging interesting yung kaso ninyo. Huh? Okay. So, now you have an ultrasound. You have to interpret that one. So, how do you correlate that with your physical findings na normal? The ultrasound says enlarged, di ba? So, you have to go back to your PE. No? Normal ba talaga? Were you able to see the ultrasound report when you examine this patient? Di niyo binalikan yung pasyente to check kung tama ang findings niyo? Wala. Hindi. Sige.
Sorry po, sir. Based on this ultrasound report po,
Oo.
nakita po namin, tapos chinek po ulit yung thyroid. If enlarged
Okay.
talaga, hindi naman po.
Hindi niyo na-check ulit. Did you recheck your PE?
Yes
So,
po.
hindi siya enlarged talaga?
Hindi. Meron pa po siyang more recent na ultrasound report.
Okay. Another one.
Opo.
Okay. Before you present to me the second ultrasound, okay, I want to make a general statement. Not all labs are not always perfectly correct. Maraming discrepancy. Ba? So, yung thyroid function test, ultrasound, ganon. Not only on thyroid, in all other parts of the body. So you must know how to interpret all those results. No? So once you have a result of the laboratory, always go back to your patients. No? Correlate it with your clinical findings. No? Okay. Sige, let's hear the second report. And let's see kung tama yung PE ninyo.
For the
Okay.
second, basahin ko na po daw.
Sige.
For this one naman po, in 2025, so 1 year after, both thyroid glands are normal in size. The right
Okay.
thyroid lobe measures 4.29 by 1.14 by 1.36 centimeters. The left lobe measures 4.63 by 1.6 by 2.1 centimeters. The gland shows a homogeneous parenchymal echo pattern. There is a hypoechoic solid mass seen in the left thyroid lobe, measuring 1.39 by 0.78 by 1.4 centimeters. A complex, predominantly cystic mass is also appreciated in the left thyroid lobe, measuring 1.89 by 1.27 by 1.84 centimeters. No discrete focal nodule appreciated in the right lobe of the thyroid gland. The isthmus is not thickened and shows homogeneous echo texture. There are several anechoic cystic nodules seen in the neck region with the following measurements and locations. First is the left side of the submentum, measuring 0.57 by 0.43 by 0.49 centimeters. Second, left submandibular, measuring 0.42 by 0.41 by 0.35 centimeters. Third is in the left lateral neck, measuring 0.37 by 0.14 by 0.44 centimeters. 1.41 by 0.23 by 0.42 centimeters. 1 centimeter by 0.33 by 1.03 centimeters, and another 0.64 by 0.25 by 0.63 centimeters. So 4 nodules po sa left lateral neck. And then the last is a left supraclavicular, measuring 0.67 by 0.53 by 0.55 centimeters. There is no demonstrable solid cystic or complex lesion along the right submandibular, right lateral neck, and right supraclavicular regions. The adjacent vascular structures are unremarkable. So impression is thyroid nodules as described left. Normal sonogram of the right thyroid gland, non-thickened isthmus, multiple neck nodules as described, and to consider lymphadenopathies. No demonstrable solid cystic or complex lesion along the right submandibular, right lateral neck, and right supraclavicular regions. Suggest clinical correlation and follow-up.
Okay. So yung repeat niya, right is normal, right lobe, no nodules.
Yes po.
The left side, may nodules.
Yes po.
Okay. And they describe the nodules as complex.
Yes,
Complex.
yes po, Doc.
Ilan ang nodules sa left side? Left lobe.
Two nodules po sa left lobe.
How big? Anong size ng two nodules?
1.39 by 0.78 by 1.4 centimeters.
The other one?
And then 1.89 by 1.27 by 1.84 centimeters.
You were not able to palpate these two nodules.
No po.
So 139, 189. Strictly speaking, this should be palpable already, no? Okay. Anyway, it's either you miss it, baka too small for you to be able to palpate them, or pwedeng mali sila, no? Okay. Yung ultrasound yan, no? And then, are there mention of neck, internal jugular nodes sa left side? Itabi mo muna yung mga submandibular gland, I think they're not related to the thyroid. Are there neck nodes? Neck nodes means internal jugular chain of nodes. Meron? Wala. None. Okay. Good. So if there are, you might be thinking of thyroid CA. Okay. Internal jugular chain of nodes along the internal jugular chain. Internal vein, na? Okay. So yung mga submandibular gland, no, walang issue yon, no? Okay. So probably that, anong thyroids ang binigay sa kanya? Thyroids. For?
The thyroids given po was nung 2024 ultrasound.
For?
Thyroids 4 po yung sa left lobe.
Okay. Yung sa 2025?
None given po, Doc.
None. Oh, good. So anong yung sinabi niyong operansya? Christian, you said that operand siya sana. What do you think was the basis for suggesting an operation? Nagtanong kayo,
Uh,
tinanong ninyo? Because of the
may
thyroids?
may FNAB po.
Okay, may FNAB siya. Okay.
Yes po.
O sige, anong FNAB niya? FNAB of which one? The left lobe nodules.
Yes po. Last February 12, 2025 po.
2025. So that was after the second thyroid ultrasound?
Before
Or
po.
before. So because of the thyroid's 4 reading of 2024.
Yes
Okay.
po.
Okay. Ano yung FNAB niya?
Thyroid aspirate left USF nub, suspicious for malignancy, suspicious for papillary thyroid carcinoma, moderately cellular and show follicular cells in crowded clusters, occasional monolayered sheets of large single isolated cells exhibiting diffuse nuclear enlargement with nuclear pallor, presence of micronuclei and rare prominent nucleoli, moderate amounts of colloid in the background, extensive air drying artifact is present.
Saan ginawa yan? Yung FMAB?
Sa Naga po.
Sanada. Okay. So probably that was the reason why the surgeon recommended an operation because of the FNAB results, no? Okay. So she has a basis. He or she has a basis, no? Okay. So how do you, any other information that you can give me from the previous medical consults? Was she taking walang medications, no? No medications at all. Okay. 2024. So she came to PGH for what reason?
She was supposedly scheduled for surgery na po in Naga,
Okay.
but she was not followed up daw po for her schedule of surgery. So she consulted po in PGH to have the surgery done.
Okay. You think mas mabilis magagawa sa PGH o sa Naga? Okay. Okay. Okay, so what's our diagnosis now? Are we ready for a refinement of our diagnosis considering all those data that we got? No. As I told you, you can have initial diagnosis based on our process of analysis. Then, as you get more information, you can change it along the way. No? Okay. So you won't be faulted. You won't be just accused of, ay, mali ang diagnosis mo initially. No. No? Okay. So it's after gathering all the data and then you come to a point that, pwede na ako gumawa ng kahit na tentatively final diagnosis. So what will be your diagnosis at this point in time? Is it you give importance to the palpitation or you give importance to the thyroid nodules that were seen on ultrasound and then with the biopsy? Okay. David, what's your final diagnosis at this point in time?
I guess putting more emphasis po on the biopsy results specific and the findings of nodules, sliding more towards possible thyroid carcinoma.
Okay. So do you all agree on that? So yung palpitation, you just put it on the background, no? Okay. So a lesson learned here, when you ask for the concern, kasi nag-focus tayo sa palpitation eh. Okay. Usually patients will just, what's your concern? They will blurt out a lot of things now, but as a physician, you have to decide which one's the most significant, no? Okay. Wala kayong nakakitang thyroid, nodules? Wala. So that's why you focus on that palpitation. Anyway, that's a learning from you, from us also, how to evaluate patients with palpitation, no? So, but this turned out that palpitation is just non-specific siya, no? Put it aside. Tama naman tayo, non-specific siya. It's not hyperthyroid, no? Okay. So, no cardiac problem, no? So, but on PE, tama rin tayo, because of the palpitation, we focus on the thyroid and the heart, no? Sa heart, wala talagang problema, no? Sa thyroid, but it so happen, wala kayong makapa, no? Okay, so that could mislead you to disregard the thyroid. But since you have the ultrasound, as I said, kanina, don't look at the results yet, but eventually you have to look at the results, no, of the previous medical consultations done by other doctors from the other doctors, no? Okay, so wag niyo i-disregard. So here we learned that she had two ultrasounds, no? Okay. And then meron siyang complex nodules, dalawa sa left lobe. Dalawa ba yung complex niya? Isang solid.
Isang solid po, tapos isa pong complex.
Okay. So which one? Okay, when you say when you have a complex mass, thyroid mass, usually benign siya. Com Just like when you have a cystic thyroid nodule, colloid cyst yun, benign siya, no? Complex is a mixture of solid and cystic, no? Usually benign, no? But the solid part, that's more alarming. It could still be normal, no? Pero you have to put a lot of cannot just dismiss it, no? So baka yun ang na-FNAB, no? In solid, no? So it turned out to be there's a reading of suspicious for malignancy which you cannot disregard anymore, no? Okay. Maganda naman yung description yan, ha? So, yung mga lab exams, yung mga even biopsy, there can be error, no? But so you must try to discern, try to correlate it with the clinical findings, may solid, no? Okay. Area. And then the report of the pathologists are quite comprehensive naman, no? Okay, so accept it for the moment, no? Because you cannot disprove it at the moment, no? So tanggapin na. So impression now is thyroid CA on the left lobe, no? Most likely, did they mention papillary? Okay. So that's the most common thyroid cancer, papillary carcinoma, no? Okay. And then you can have a coexistence with colloid nodule. Okay, the complex mass could be a colloid adenomatous nodule. The solid mass could be the thyroid CA. Okay. So remember that there could be coexistence of the benign multiple colloid adenomatous goiter and the thyroid CA. No? Okay. So yung na-FNAB, yun ang may thyroid CA. So that's where you focus your diagnosis. So thyroid CA, so walang neck nodes, no? Pagkapa niya, walang neck nodes. And then ultrasound, wala rin. No? Okay. So that's your working diagnosis at this point in time, no? Thyroid CA, left lobe, okay? In a 57-year-old female, yung palpitations, non-specific, no? So you can disregard that already at this point in time. Pulse rate naman is normal, no? Okay. And then so the next question is, do you need more paraclinical diagnostic procedure? Or are you convinced already that this is really thyroid CA with a biopsy? ano yung guidelines ko? If you are quite sure of your diagnosis, you don't need anymore. Okay? If there's something that you're uncertain with, then you can do another diagnostic procedure. No? Okay. So yung FMAB has a more than 90% accuracy already. So tanggapin na lang natin. No? Okay. So now go to the treatment. No? So before the treatment will be to resolve the problem of thyroid CA and the patient. No? I use the word resolve, no? Just para hindi tayo biased to surgery. No? When you say resolve, it can be done by a lot of treatment modalities. Radioactive iodine, chemotherapy, no? Okay. So surgery, okay. Those are the three options at the moment, no? Or even thyroid hormones, pang-apat, no? So you compare the four, no? So which one has the best benefit in terms of resolving the thyroid CA of this patient? Among the four. Ano yung from your readings? Baka from your readings, palaging surgery lang naririnig ninyo. But there's a basis for choosing surgery. So,
Sir, I think
Hmm.
surgery po would probably be the best option po.
okay. Do you have data among the others? Anong effectiveness ng RAI?
So, I don't have like specific data or numbers po, pero more related po to prevention of recurrence lang po yung radioactive iodine po, and also thyroid hormone suppression po, as compared to surgery where it would be better in removing the actual current mass po, which the other forms of management wouldn't necessarily be able to accomplish po.
Okay. About chemotherapy? Wala. Okay. Anyway, I don't expect you to answer that, but the process is there, no? You compare the four, no? Not just based on its popularity, surgery is being the most popular. Okay. But there is a basis for that. So among the four, surgery is the most effective. Kung radioactive iodine, because of the size, hindi kakayanin. Okay. Surgery, tanggal lahat. Okay. So probably if you give RAI is also being given for yung mga residual cancer, di ba? After an operation. And also for prevent recurrence for the small ones. No? So that means that that indicates that radioactive iodine can be effective against thyroid cancer, papillary thyroid cancer. No? But how come it's not being recommended as the first? Okay. So studies probably have shown that surgery is better as the number one first modality bago yung RAI. Okay. Hormonal, ganun din. Okay. Probably there are studies that shows there are some patients with thyroid cancer which can respond to hormonal treatment, but probably 10-20% lang ganon. Okay. That's why surgery is still being offered as the best treatment. Okay. Chemotherapy, ganun din. There are studies that show that chemotherapy is not very effective for thyroid CA, for papillary, follicular, and anaplastic. Okay. So that's the reason. So among the four thyroid, you choose surgery as the primary treatment, which you recommend to the patient. Then, in terms of risk, ano yung risk ng surgery? You have to explain this to the patient. What are the risks for surgery, the risk for RAI, risk for chemo, risk for, no? Because there will be some patients who will not outrightly who don't like the surgery. So, bibigyan mo ibang i-explain mo lahat ibang options, no? And then by explaining, you explain also the risk, no? And then the cost, availability, di ba? Okay. So ano yung risk for surgery?
Possible hoarseness po, or
Okay.
dysphonia due to the
Okay.
proximity of the thyroid to the recurrent laryngeal nerve.
Okay. Okay. Hoarseness or change, injury to the recurrent laryngeal nerve, ano pa? Especially when you're going to do a total thyroidectomy here, no? Ano pa?
Another risk po siguro is involvement ng parathyroid glands during the surgery, which could result po to hypoparathyroidism and hypocalcemia.
Okay. Good, no? So not involvement, but probably during the dissection, no? Okay. Okay. But in some instances, kung talagang malaki, kasi sa kanya maliit lang eh, no? Okay. Kung malaking-malaki, the parathyroids might be involved also, no? Baka nakadikit doon, no? Pero kung maliit lang, if you do a total thyroidectomy, there's more risk for hypocalcemia, hypoparathyroidism, because uh, you are dissecting the two lobes, no? As we know, the parathyroids are located in the back of the two lobes, no? In contrast, when you just do one side surgery, say one lobe, no, you don't touch the other side, you retain the two parathyroids there, no? So you don't have a higher risk for hypoparathyroidism or hypocalcemia. But once you are attempting total thyroidectomy, which will most likely be done in this particular patient, no, then you run the risk for, you have a higher risk for hypoparathyroidism, no? Okay. Which should be prevented by the surgeon doing it, no? Okay. So ano pa? Of course, kung total na, hypothyroidism na, automatically yon, no? Okay. Patient will not have thyroid gland anymore. So patient will be in hypothyroidism, which she has to take replacement therapy for life. No? Okay. And of course, you have to tell her about the possible complications of surgery in general, bleeding, no? And then bleeding, infection, etc. No? Which are very minimal. No? Okay. Okay. How about the risk for RAI? Radiation, di ba? Risk for the radiation. Okay? And then risk for the hormonal treatment. Pag hormonal treatment ito, what will it be? Levothyroxine or methimazole? Which one will suppress the growth of the thyroid nodules?
Methimazole.
Methimazole? Think of the, yung
Most probably po, baka po levothyroxine since it
yeah.
might suppress the TSH na
Okay.
po.
So think of that loop, the feedback. So the thyroid gland will produce T4, T3, and then it will send a signal to your hypothalamus. Then you have TSH. Okay. Then TSH will act on the thyroid, no? Yung loop na yon, di ba? So if you increase your T3, T3, T4 with levothyroxine, yung TSH mo bababa, na? So it will try to suppress the enlargement or the growth of the thyroid hormones, thyroid tissues, and the thyroid cancer, na? Okay. So levothyroxine will be the medicine for medical suppressive treatment for thyroid cancer. No? Okay. So if you give that, so ano possible side effect? Palpitation.
Palpitations.
Then ano pa? Allergy, di ba? Yung mga ganon, no? Any medicine has a potential risk for allergy. Okay? Then the other one is, what's the other one? Chemotherapy, of course, side effects of chemotherapy. So you explain everything to the patient, no? So para ma-convince niyo yung pasyente, kung ayaw niya talagang surgery, wala na. Ang pinakamaganda pa rin ang surgery, di ba? So, and then the cost, explain the cost, kung cost hindi niya kakayanin, no? Okay. Usually nowadays, kung di niya kakayanin, you have the PhilHealth na no? PhilHealth benefits, no? Okay, they can go to the government hospital. The only problem with the government hospital, pila-pila, no? Okay. So that's the system that they have to change, no? Okay. If they want to achieve universal health for all, no? So PhilHealth is doing something good. Now nag-increase na yung benefits. Now you can actually have a zero balance billing nowadays when you operate on the thyroid. No, you don't have to pay anything. No, but the problem is the pila-pila sa mga government hospital. No, okay. You have a solution for that? You have seen PGH, di ba? The solution will come from the management, di ba? So they probably should put more consultants there para may what active involvement, then quick decision making. Diba? Kasi kadalasan yung mga patients going to the clinics, they usually are seen by different residents, no? Keep on repeating everything, and then so there must be a good management system in the hospital to start with. And then kung di kakayanin because of the load, they should, sa PGH, they should create some networking with other government hospitals para to dilute the patient's load. Okay. So availability among those drugs, the most readily available is still surgery, then hormones, chemotherapy because of the cost, baka hindi siya readily available. RAI also is not readily available because of the cost, no? Because it has to have special treatment facilities. They have to be confined for 2 days, or 2 days at least, no? And then they have to secure the radioactive iodine capsules or sometimes it comes in the form of capsules, sometimes in the form of liquid. No? Okay. So surgery is still the best. So total thyroidectomy would have to be done to removing all the thyroid tissues and also the thyroid cancer. So post-op, you have to give the patient what? Levothyroxine. No? If there are residual, hindi natanggal lahat, then you may have to give RAI therapy, additional. Okay? Then in terms of all of this, you advise the patients. No? And then in terms of after the operation, ano yung health restoration? Patient has to take medicine for life. Okay? And then anything that they can do to avoid recurrence of the cancer? Wala. Kasi we don't know the exact cause, di ba? We don't know the cause for the thyroid cancer. Just tell them to continue to live a healthy lifestyle na lang. Okay, that's the most that we can advise. And then frequent checkup na lang, regular checkup for recurrence monitoring. Para kung mag-recur, early diagnosis, early treatment, maagapan pa. No? Okay, so that's part of your health advice. Okay, any questions? Any questions?
Siguro, Doc, the question na po that we have is similar po dun sa naging dilemma natin earlier na, say for example, in a case na hindi po namin nakuha yung previous lab ng patient, pero on physical examination, she presented as is na wala po talaga kaming makapa, kahit ilang tao na po yung kumapa nung sa thyroid niya.
Yeah.
We're at a dilemma lang po na will we order the repeat of the FNAB po.
Kung wala ka naman nakapa, wala ka namang ano, but okay. One scenario is walang lab test ginawa, no? The other scenarios is you do not have access to the lab test, no? Okay. So in the second scenario, you really have to try your best to ask the patient to get all the records, no? Okay. In the first scenario, walang lab test, no? So you just try your best. If you really think walang nothing wrong with the thyroid, no? You just treat patient as is, explain everything to the patient. Basta magandang explanation ninyo, let's say palpitation, non-specific lang yan, na wala kaming findings sa thyroid, no findings sa the heart, no? Okay. So you just ask them to the trick. I have a lot of patients with palpitations, no? But normal yung thyroid, no? Just teach them the concept of palpitations, no? Teach them how to check the pulse rate also, no? Okay. Ito yung this is not commonly done by physician. I teach the patients how to take the pulse rate, no? Okay, madali lang naman, ha? And then tell them if they feel palpitation, check the pulse rate right away. So if the pulse rate is normal, just tell them it's non-specific. No? If you really have tachycardia more than 100 per minute, you say that's really palpitation. Then we will investigate further. No? Okay. So ask her to observe first. No? If she feels some palpitation and the pulse rate is normal, palaging normal, just pag nag-rest siya, wala na, non-specific siya. No? Okay. So advise them that way, then probably they will accept it. And then the more important thing there is always have a follow-up. No? Okay. So, kasi yung mga diagnosis natin is not always 100% accurate all the time. No? So you must have a backup. Always tell the patient, come back for follow-up. Let's say after 3 months, no? Ganon, no? Okay. Para if you feel, the next time that you have this follow-up on this patient, you might, baka makita mo na yung ano, baka yung error na commit mo the first time, nakita mo, ay may bukol pala ito. No? So correct it right away. No? Okay. So kaysa yung, ay walang problema, sige, malis ka na. So, kaya probably ito yung nangyari sa itong pasyente, five physicians, walang good explanation, no? Okay. And then walang usually yung mga doctors naman, they don't ask the patient to follow up right religiously, no? Okay. So follow up is your backup for your mga misdiagnosis. Pag nagpa-follow up ka, kung di siya nag-follow up, kung may misdiagnosis ka, hindi mo na kasalanan yun. Okay, strictly speaking, hindi mo kasalanan yun kasi hindi siya nag-follow up eh, di ba? So yung follow up mo is to recheck your findings, di ba? Okay? You can stop your follow-up. Number one, the patient doesn't want to have you as your physician anymore. Wala kang magagawa, no? Okay, or the patient is dead already, di ba? Ganon. Okay. Okay? Anything else? Wala na? Wala nang questions? Okay, okay. Let's have a feedback on these sessions now. Christian, do you want to start? What did you learn today?
Grupo yung importance po ng offering different treatment options to patient to help them understand yung benefit, risk, and possible complications for each approach. Since as doctors, we would like to empower them to make informed decisions that would help them decide what's their preference po for the treatment and would also help build yung trust and shared decision making that would help the patient lead to better adherence and patient outcomes.
Okay, thank you. Andrea?
For me naman po, siguro yung main takeaway ko po is that yung diagnostic results po, we shouldn't rely on them like 100% of the time kasi nga possible po na nagkakamali rin po yung pag-interpret sa results. So we should also know how to interpret it on our own and always recheck po yung mga findings and compare the findings from the labs po to our physical exams po.
Okay, thank you. Camilla, the same.
Siguro for me na lang po would be the emphasis of the importance of a complete history and PE po. Since for a patient, we had an unremarkable physical exam findings po. So it was important to correlate it with the history po. But more so to add na lang din po yung minention ni Andy na parang medyo mahirap din po manavigate yung case without the labs. So important to integrate everything well po.
Okay. When you say complete, yung mga relevantly complete. Okay. May mga complete na decahon, no? Okay, but not relevant, no? Okay. Focus driven history, no? Okay. And also your PE, no? Remember, we don't have to do a complete physical examination. You focus on the heart and the thyroid in this particular patients, no? Okay. Okay. David?
Siguro po for me, it's more on yung importance of providing advice to the patient, especially na made prevalent with like our case na parang ang dami niyang doktor na napuntahan. And like, I guess giving advice doesn't limit it to just giving advice on how the patient should be treated, but rather also throughout yung entire process ng pag-diagnose sa kanya, like the different diagnostics used to be able to reach yung impression natin, all are like important for the patient's benefit as well.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Deborah, Lisa?
For me naman po, siguro yung na-emphasize po yung importance of correlating the history as well as expected PE findings po once we do our physical examination to yung underlying physiology po para along the way we can give an appropriate advice po to the patient without being parang judgmental sa kanila to also maintain yung rapport po considering in this case po parang medyo hindi po nakaka-build ng rapport yung mga previous physicians na na-meet po ng patient during her encounters po.
Okay. Thank you, Alisa. Okay. Angelica.
I think for me naman po is yung importance po yung regarding the paraclinical diagnostic procedures because parang for the previous patient encounters, we're thinking na kailangan yung kung ano lang yung kailangan ng patient. But I think for this session po, mas na-concretize na kailangan siya in a sense na makakatulong po siya to give certainty dun sa diagnosis po natin kahit hindi 100%, hindi lang dahil siya po yung cheapest, but it's what's going to help us not just give the final diagnosis or at least the semi-final diagnosis to the patient, but also how we're going to manage po the patient para hindi ulit-ulit yung labs na ipapagawa sa kanya and hindi rin parang baliwala lang yung labs na ipapagawa po for the patient. Dapat may certain reason bakit po natin siya gagawin. And say for example po gagawin natin na parang pareho naman pong surgical procedure yung gagawin sa kanya pero ipapagawa pa rin natin just for the sake na malaman natin ano talaga yung diagnosis. Pero parang baliwala rin naman po yung ganong klaseng mentality.
Okay, thank you. So be selective, but rationalize every move that you will make, no? Every decisions, no? Okay, thank you. I'm glad that you have learned something from me. And then let's have a group picture taking before we adjourn. Okay? Okay. Can you take it on your part, Angelica, also? 1, 2.
Oh, one more po. 1, 2, 3. Okay po.
Okay, so that ends our session on the 11:15. So you can still have your lunch. Okay, so I hope we can see each other one day in PGH. No? Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you
Thank
po.
you po.
Thank you
Welcome.
po.
Thank you po.